police have given the assurance that they will take responsible steps to order and ensure that the protest in today's national shutdown remains peaceful. The EFF has initiated the protest with other organizations, including Labour Federation, SAFTU, and the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania, saying that they will also participate. However, taxi organizations SANTACO and NTA say that they will not participate in the protest and will ensure that the public will have access to the transport that is necessary, and that sector will not be disrupted. The EFF is calling for the resignation of President Cyril Ramaphosa, to the end of load shedding and other pressing issues in the country. Police Minister Bheki Cele says that police are ready for the national protest. You saw that briefing a short while ago, and the fact that police have been out in numbers. Witnessed that myself on my commute to work this morning. So to help us unpack this moment and what exactly is busy unfolding, we join in studio now by Political Analyst Aubrey Matshiqi. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Togos.
Now, if we look at where we find ourselves, Aubrey, one of the things that I've been struggling with since last week particularly is what exactly is going on?
Well, I must say, Sakina, that the response of the security cluster and the president has been particularly disturbing to me. It seems to me that the coercive capacity of the ANC government and the post-apartheid state, which is a neo-apartheid state, is greater than its capacity to deliver on the promise of a better life for all. The statements that have been made by members of the security cluster have been quite strident, and they reminded me of the days of P.W. Botha. When I watched President Cyril Ramaphosa making bellicose appeals for peace, I was reminded of the day in 1985 when P.W. Botha declared the state of emergency, when he said, "Don't push us too far." And I saw echoes of that when looking at the anger in the face of the president. An anger you seldom see in his face when he is confronted with the reality of citizens that are poor, are victims of inequality, and are going hungry. And you ask yourself, where is this preparedness to do battle, when there should be a preparedness to do battle against poverty, unemployment, and other signs of underdevelopment? So I think what is happening here, as we have seen in the past, we are seeing what I call the Marikana complex. In other words, the post-apartheid state, which, as I say, is a neo-apartheid state, must be deployed in defense of dominant economic interests in South Africa. That same logic, which is a logic that informed the Marikana massacre, is a logic which informs why we send our military to certain parts of the continent. For instance, we send our military to the Central African Republic ostensibly as part of a peacemaking and peacekeeping mission, when in essence we send our military to those parts of the continent in defense and to protect the interests of white capital.
So the significance of this moment and you know, taking into cognizance what you've just said, but is this, do you believe, a moment that we will look back on in years to come as a significant shift would have happened on this day, in this particular moment? Or is it just another day of protest and tomorrow it will all be over?
Well, the calamity that we imagine is going to happen today is not going to happen. The calamity that the security cluster and the president want us to imagine is not going to happen today. That calamity is still coming. It is still coming because the reasons behind these protests will be with us tomorrow, will be with us next week, will be with us next month, which means our reality of underdevelopment, inequality, poverty, unemployment, particularly how underdevelopment has the face of a woman, how poverty and inequality have become feminized. That reality is going to be with us after this shutdown. So there is a calamity that is coming, but it is not going to happen today. It is going to happen in future. Now, when you look at how the president responds, and when you look at how the security cluster responds, they're trying to invoke certain class and racial prejudices. Remember, those who support
I want to ask you, please, my apologies, Aubrey, if you could just pause there, because I want us to go to news, and then we'll come back to that point, because I think it's a very important one in terms of what is being invoked through what we are seeing today.